Nintendo is releasing 30-cent virtual console games to celebrate the 30th anniversary every 30 days
So far, so good.
for
Wait,
the
30th
next
anniversary.
For the next 300 years.
the
Or 20,
Famicom's 30th
13.
anniversary. Okay, so
So Super Metroid's part of that?
yeah, well, they're just celebrating 30 years of them
Oh,
producing home video games, I guess.
okay. Now it makes sense.
Yes, okay, so it's the 30th anniversary. They're giving away games for 30 cents every 30 days.
It
Got it.
sounds so easy when you say it like that, but I wonder how are they wording this on the actual messaging of the system if it is there. Are they?
Do not know.
30th anniversary of the Wii U Virtual
They
Console.
have some big virtual console button thing on the Wii U
Okay.
display that I saw when I was in there. But so they started the balloon fight, which is great. Love balloon fight. Bought it a ton of times. Then F-Zero comes out next month. Punch Out featuring Mr. Dream because I guess we can't, idolize a rapist or anything. That's probably just a licensing thing. Kirby's Adventure in April, Super Metroid in May, Yoshi, that's the weird NES puzzle game, that's June, and then Donkey Kong in July to finish it out, and that's Donkey Kong the
Is
first.
that is that Donkey Kong the one with the cement factory? I always want to call it pie factory, but it's cement, as far as I know.
Maybe? I can never remember.
There was something to do with that recently. I don't know if that was on the 3DS. I don't know where that
Oh yeah,
was.
they were giving it away to people who
Uh,
bought like a retail copy of a 3DS game. Then you got Donkey Kong for free
okay.
on your 3DS. You
So it
still can't
probably
buy it though.
that's weird. It probably does have the level then.
But yeah, so this is like a doorbuster way to get people back into buying digital stuff from Nintendo, I guess. I mean, 30 cents, that's why not? Why would you not buy that? It doesn't make any sense to me why you would not spend the 30 cents to do
What I
it.
find weird is like, because again on the 3DS you can get Kirby Adventure for like $7 or $8 because it's the 3D version. I wish there was a way to like, so you paid like $8 or whatever for the 3DS version. Why can't you have it on the Wii U? You could just have both versions. And there's
That would be
people that are
nice.
mad that probably bought it on the original Wii, and now they got to buy it again.
Nobody's making anybody buy anything. They're merely offering it. It's not like it's not as though a gun is being put to your head and say you must buy all the games you've already bought a second time.
While saving money because you already own it on Wii.
Right?
I
Yeah,
mean, that's part
that's
of this is you get a discounted price if you own it.
yeah. If you've already bought it on the Wii and you want it on the Wii U, okay, so you spend another buck and then you get it's your upgrade to Wii U version. No big deal.
You
Now
know
that
what? Now that I think about it, that's actually pretty sweet, and I don't think they'll do it, but I would love that for Xbox Live Arcade.
if the next Xbox
I would,
console,
yeah. I own
that would be
so many
spectacular.
XBLA games, it's insane.
Creative director for Dead Island Riptide, Guido Eichmeyer, said in an interview with Video Gamer that they think it's labeling these CGI trailers, these sort of deep, impactful, slow, dramatic trailers that they've done for Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide, calling them misleading is ridiculous, which has raised some hackles, I guess, in
Hmm.
people. And I have to agree, they're not really representative of what the experience of playing Dead Island is like. I, at least in my limited experience, I have not seen anything that approaches a level of drama or emotion that the trailer tries to convey. I just kill a lot of zombies.
The way I look at it is these trailers is it's almost just like a here's the expanded universe. Here's what the universe of this game could be like. and then the game is its own thing, which
Right.
is fine for what it is. I mean, if you're informed like we are, it's not a big deal. I guess that they could get into trouble if they show this on TV and people think that's what they're getting into, but
But we've had TV trailers that have
oh
been,
yeah.
all CGI for years and years, and that's never been a problem.
Hmm.
Um, People have come to expect the idea that, in-game graphics aren't necessarily going to be what they show in the TV ad. So I don't think that's an issue. I don't see why this is such a big deal ultimately. Um, and then the other thing Ike Meyer said, Jim wrote an article about this interview. And I said, I truly hope at some point, even the last people in our industry will understand that games live by user stories, not predefined narratives. For watching a scripted experience, I still prefer a good movie. And I don't know if that's really smart or really dumb.
From a visionary standpoint, maybe it's smart, but I mean, that's sort of like the zero sum game we're talking about here. I don't know why we can't have both, because not everyone can get satisfaction out of making up their own stories in games. Some players need a story, and that's what they're playing for. Other people play multiplayer, and then that's their own experience they can tell people about. I mean, I don't agree with the guy, I think.
Uh, I I agree with him and I disagree with him at the same time. I think with regards to scripted experiences and so forth. I think games can have great scripted experiences. It's not something that you can't do, but I do find that the scripted stories in games are generally poor. Um,
I'll agree with that.
Now,
But
a
does that
lot
mean
of
we get rid of them
no, yeah,
completely? Yeah.
exactly. And a lot of players do find great satisfaction out of creating their own narrative and their own story. Um, Sometimes I'm one of them, but pretty rarely. I'm mostly interested in seeing what the developers have to offer me. And if I'm told, here, go make your own entertainment, I have Legos. I could do that. Give me something. I wanted you to give me entertainment, I guess, is the point. So I don't want to say I got offended by that suggestion, but
I've always needed both. Like Minecraft was fun and Terraria were fun for a good long time, but at some point it was just like there's too much freedom here. I need something to guide me along in addition to giving me freedom to experiment, you know. I really need both.
yeah, Terraria did a really pretty good job, I thought, of sort of pushing me along to try things, but eventually it had to push me to a wiki. Handholding is such a dirty word, but we do need some direction, I think, sometimes.
I'm just thinking, like, I remember I used to love, like, games where just go out and do whatever. Like Oblivion, I could play for hours and just wander around and just kill things, just do whatever, just make my own story. But now it's like I don't have time for that. I want to play, like, I can't think of a good example, just a very linear story. You just go and you play the story, and the developer says, here's the story of the game, and you're experiencing it. But still having some freedom in that is very welcome. Like Dishonored. It's a linear story, but in each
Multiple
level,
paths to
there's
get to
multiple
that
paths
linear
to get
end.
to the same story.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of freedom. You can just do the direct, like, boom, I'm just gonna go run through it and experience the story, or you can sit there and contemplate for hours if you wanted to on what you're gonna do. And that's pretty cool.
Dead Space. Dead Space, I want to like you, but the people who made you will not keep their mouths shut now that the game is like ready to go in a couple weeks.
It's out next week. I couldn't
Oh, is
believe
it
it.
next week?
It's next week.
Wow.
Yeah, the launch trailer came out yesterday, which was the best part. Because that freaking Phil Collins. I mean, it wasn't Phil Collins, but it was Phil Collins in the air tonight. It was a cover. It was close enough to me. I was like, that's awesome.
I hate Phil Collins, but I love that song.
And then the drum solo comes in. It's like, oh, yeah. It's Like, I want this game now. I never wanted it. Now I want it.
I wanted it anyway. I love Speed the Dead Space. I want the game, but man, like this, it's gonna be rough now this next week because they are saying some stupid stuff. The PC port isn't gonna be DirectX 11 supported.
No high-res textures. It's basically going to be like the bare minimum they can do to keep it on the same level as the consoles, which they were taking a stance like, isn't that good enough, people? No, it's not really, not anymore. It's kind of expected that for a developer of EA and Visceral's size, you go above and beyond with catering each version to each platform. So yeah, people got pretty pissed about that. Here's the quote from their executive producer, Steve Hapoutzis, says, "The fact that we're allowing you to control a game with a mouse and keyboard immediately makes the game feel different. We seem a little bit discredited for the amount of effort that goes into it, quite honestly. I mean, yes, it takes effort to make it, but I mean, come on."
Wait, okay,
I mean,
so
the game is made on PCs. There's
Yeah, now more than ever, it's probably easier to do a multi-platform release. Well,
you set up key bindings, and we're supposed to be impressed. Like that just doesn't. That's ridiculous. That's an absolutely ridiculous statement. I don't care one way or another if the PC version is consistent with the console versions. You know, like I don't need I'm not one of those people who's like, my PC version has to be so much better. Now, it might inform my decision as to whether or not I buy the PC version versus the console versions if they're all going to be the same. Because have more people that I play games with on Xbox 360, say, than PC or PS3. And so if I'm going to have the same visual experience on my 360 as I would on my PC, then fine, I'll just get the 360 version. But I don't care so much that I'm upset about it, but I understand why people are pissed, and the fact that EA doesn't understand why people are pissed.
that's the biggest thing for me is like it'd be fine if they were like, okay, well, we're just going to try and make them consistent and that's the end of it. We don't have the budget, we don't want to do this, whatever. But to use this as an excuse to act like we're getting something special here, that's what kind of upset me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ignorance or if that's just the way they're positioning this or what it is, but
like the thing is, all the extra graphic effects they're already made. Like they have to use that stuff for benchmarking and for frames benchmarking and all that, just performance in general. So it's like they already exist somewhere. And they don't let you control that. That's
if Sleeping Dogs can do it, I think Dead Space 3 can do it, to be honest.
so anyway, David Bowie.
We will reference him in every show if it's the last thing I do.